Dear students, today's topic of my lecture electric potential. So first you understand what is the meaning of the electric potential. Electric potential basically it is the amount of work done for bringing a positive charge from infinite to a point in the electrostatic field of another charge irrespective of the path followed by the unit positive test charge. That is called electric potential. That might be you have already studied in class 10th. So once again, I remind your memory, electric potential at a point in an electric field is defined as amount of work done for bringing a unit positive test charge from infinity to that point against the electrostatic force irrespective of the path followed, subject to the condition without any acceleration. That is called electric potential. How you can represent it in mathematically? For that purpose, we say that a point in the electric field is B and you are bringing a unit positive test charge Q naught. Then we can say that electric potential is equal to amount of work done for bringing unit positive test charge Q naught from infinite to a point B in an electric field. That is, electric potential is represented by capital V, then capital V equal to W infinite B upon Q naught. So this is the mathematical expression. Electric potential is basically a scalar quantity and its SI unit is volt, or by the formula joule per coulomb. Work done is measured in SI unit, joule, and coulomb, and charge in coulomb. So it becomes joule per coulomb. And the joule can also be written as Newton meter, that you have studied in class 11. So Newton meter per coulomb is also another unit of electric potential. So sometimes in the CBSE they ask the definition of the 1 volt. So how you can define it? So for that purpose you can say that electric potential at a point can be defined as 1 volt if 1 joule work is to be done for bringing unit positive test charge, that is 1 coulomb charge, from infinite to that point in electric field. That is called 1 volt of electric potential at a point. Now the next one is electric potential difference. Electric potential difference, that we have to take 2 points in an electric field of a charge. We can say that a point charge is placed at point O and A and B are the 2 points in the electric field of the point charge plus Q. Then moving a charge Q naught from point A to the point B, that is the electric potential difference when we calculate the work done for moving plus Q naught charge from point A to the point B. Now we say that at point A, electric potential is represented by VA, and at point B, the electric potential is represented by VB. And E is the direction of electric field which is produced by this point charge, which is radially outward. So whatever the work we are doing, that we are doing against to the electrostatic force of this plus Q charge. So the work done for bringing plus Q naught charge from point A to the point B, that is equal to WAB upon Q naught. That is the work done for bringing plus Q naught charge from A point to the point B, and that is equal to VB minus VA. We can say that delta V. So finally what we are getting? VV minus VA equal to delta V equal to WAV upon Q naught. Now again you focus here at the point A and B. Now point B is close to the plus Q charge. So potential at point B is higher than potential at point A. So potential at A point is lower as comparison to the potential at point B. So finally we can define electric potential difference between the 2 points, say point B and point A, in an electric field is the amount of work done for bringing a small positive test charge Q naught from a point lower potential to the point at higher potential against electrostatic force along any path. That is called electric potential difference. Now electric potential and potential difference, they are the scalar quantities. Electric potential at infinity is 0, and if charge Q is greater than 0, that is charge is positive, at that time electric potential is also positive. If we say that charge Q is less than 0, then it means the charge Q is negative, then electric potential is also negative. Now if you want to express unit of electric potential in CGS units, then it is stat volt. As you have studied earlier, CGS unit of charge is stat coulomb. Similarly, it is stat volt. So 1 stat volt equal to 1 erg or 1 stat coulomb. That is 1 erg per stat coulomb. 1 erg is the CGS unit of work done and stat coulomb is the unit of charge. So finally 1 stat volt equal to 1 erg per stat coulomb. Generally we use the SI units, but for your more knowledge you can remember it, the CGS unit of electric potential. Now we have to find out electric potential at a point due to a single point charge. So for that purpose, what we have to do, we consider a point charge plus Q which is placed at point O. Due to this plus Q charge, the direction of electric field intensity is radially outward. Now we take here two more points in the electric field of plus Q charge, A and B. Another point we are taking, point P. At this point P we have to find out the electric potential. So the work has to be done to bring a plus Q naught charge from infinite to the point P, and plus Q naught charge is a unit positive test charge, right? This point P is at distance small r from the source charge plus Q, and the point A, which is in the electric field of the plus Q charge, is at distance x from point O. So what we have to do, we have to find out first work done for moving plus Q naught charge from A point to B point. It means it is opposite to the direction of electrostatic force due to this plus Q charge. After that, we will find out total work done for bringing plus Q naught charge from infinite to the point P. So for that purpose, we integrate this small amount of work done which we calculate from point A to point B. Let us see what happens. First, you know that at point A on plus Q naught charge, the force is Q naught E. Due to this force Q naught E, charge will get accelerate. But in our definition, without accelerating. So for that purpose, equal and opposite force minus Q naught has to be applied on the test charge to prevent this acceleration. Now we calculate a small amount of work done for moving plus Q naught charge from point A to point B against electrostatic force, that is Q naught E. So that comes to be dW equal to F vector dot dx, and in place of F vector you can write Q naught E vector dot dx. Since test charge is moving against to the electrostatic force, so that's why the angle between them is 180 degree. So now open this dot product, then you will get Q naught E dx cos 180. Cos 180 is minus 1, so it becomes minus Q naught E dx. So this is the small amount of work done for moving the test charge from point A to the point B. Now you have to place electric field intensity at point A. So we already calculated, already we know that electric field intensity at a point due to a single point charge is E equal to Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught R square, but here in place of R is X square because the distance of the point A from plus Q charge is X. So electric field intensity at point A due to the plus Q charge is E equal to Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught X square. Substitute this value here, then what you will get, dW equal to minus Q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught X square dx. So this is the small amount of work done for moving plus Q naught charge from point A to the point B. Now we calculate total work done for bringing test charge Q naught from infinite to the point P, that is from infinite to small r. P point is at small r distance from plus Q charge. Then what we do? We integrate it. So W infinite B, this is basically P point. So W infinite P equal to infinite limits, infinite to P point, integral dW, which is equal to infinite to small r. Small r is the distance of P from plus Q charge. So you are putting the limit, then Q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught X square dx, which is equal to, you take outside, minus Q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught, then integration infinite to r 1 upon X square dx. So 1 upon X square dx is the minus 1 upon x. So when you integrate it, then you will get minus 1 upon x. So equation becomes this infinite W infinite P equal to minus Q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught within bracket minus 1 upon x infinite to r. Now substitute the limits and take out the minus sign outside. So minus minus becomes plus, which is equal to Q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught 1 upon r upper limit minus lower limit. So 1 upon r minus 1 upon infinite. So 1 upon infinite is 0. So finally what becomes? Q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught within bracket 1 upon r minus 0. Then it becomes W infinite P equal to Q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught r, and Q naught you take here. So W infinite P upon Q naught equal to Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught R. So what is this? This W infinite P upon Q naught. This is electric potential for bringing Q naught charge from infinite to the point P. So finally what you will get? V is equal to Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught R. In place of this we write V. V is the electric potential which is equal to, for bringing, work done for bringing plus Q naught charge from infinite to the point P. So V equal to Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught R. So from here the V is inversely proportional to R. You just remember it. Now we calculate electric potential at a point due to the group of point charges, as you have done earlier in case of force and electric field. But they are the vector quantities and electric potential is a scalar quantity. Therefore, electric potential at a point due to the group of charges is equal to algebraic sum of their individual potentials at that point. If we say that P be a point and around it the charges are Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 and so on Qn. So we have to calculate at this point P the total electric potential, which is the algebraic sum of potential due to Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 and so on Qn. That is Vp equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus V4 plus on so on plus Vn. Now as just you have derived, electric potential at a point due to a single charge is V equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R. So here you find out due to charge Q1 at point P. So that we are representing by V1. So V1 equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 upon R1 P. P is the point at which you are going to find out electric potential. Or we can say that R1P is the distance between Q1 and P. Similarly, you can find out electric potential at point P due to Q2. So the distance that we say that R2P, and again due to Q3 then Q4 and so on Qn. So you will get V2 equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 upon R2P. R2P is the distance between Q2 and P. Similarly, V3 equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q3 upon R3P and so on. Vn equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Qn upon Rnp. Now as we say that the total electric potential at point P is the algebraic sum of individual potentials produced by individual charges. So that's why V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus Vn. Now we substitute the value of V1, V2, V3 and Vn in this equation, and you see that in all expressions 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught is common. So that we take outside. Then inside the bracket is Q1 upon R1P plus Q2 upon R2P plus and so on Qn upon Rnp. So we can write it in the summation form. V equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught sigma I equal to 1, I equal to n, Qi upon Ri. Because here the charges and distances, they are the variable. Or we can say that V equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught I equal to 1, I equal to n, Qi upon Rip. P is the point at which we are finding the total electric potential due to the point charges around this point P. So from here what we conclude? We conclude that electric potential at a point due to the other charges is not affected by the presence of other charges. Means as you are finding the electric potential at point P, so at point P you are taking a unit positive test charge, and around it the charges are Q1, Q2, Q3 and so on. Then the electric potential due to the presence of other charges is not affected. So that's why we say that electric potential at a point due to a charge is not affected by the presence of any other charges. Now from the expression, electric potential is inversely proportional to the R, whereas Coulomb's force F is inversely proportional to R square. Similarly, electric field is inversely proportional to R square. Remember it. Electric potential is a scalar quantity, whereas force is a vector quantity. Same way, electric field intensity is a vector quantity. Although V is called the electric potential at a point, it is actually, what is actually meaning at a point? Its actually meaning is the potential difference between the point R and infinite, as you have calculated electric potential at a point due to the single charge. So basically what we are calculating, we are calculating a electric potential difference between infinite and to the point that we are taking at r distance. So this is about electric potential. If you like my video, then like it, subscribe it, press the bell icon. Thank you. Have a nice day.